Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Okay, excellent. Hey guys, welcome aboard tonight, particularly the guest, um, and new agents in the process of joining. So Patricia's a guest, Susan Perry in the process of joining. And Susan, I did get the message today from EXP, so you must have initiated the sponsor change to be Henry, which was perfect. I appreciate you taking the lead on that. Um, they're usually, when it comes from you and you got me, the team leader involved, then they know it's legitimate. So it should happen fairly quickly. So in any case, welcome aboard, everybody. Um, if you have not seen last week's recording, um, and you didn't get it because you weren't registered, um, let me know. I guess send an email. Email me. Here, I'll put my email in the chat box here. Hang on one second. Everyone. So here comes my email. It's Gary at rewgw.com. So you can email me, let me know that you need last week's recording, because you want to watch that before you take action on tonight. Tonight is the goals. Last week was the vision exercise, and this week is the goals exercise. So where you find these instructions, let me share my screen. If you go into the website, you have to log in. So if you're if you're not yet a member of the team, don't worry, we can get this to you. If you are a member of the team, you have login credentials to log into our team's website. And once you do, you see your dashboard. These are all the options, the marketing campaigns, all the recorded videos. And guys, I've lost track of how many hundreds of recorded videos there were. I'm going to guess somewhere around 400 because it goes back almost 8 years. Isn't that amazing? Been 8 years, holy smokes. All the marketing, all the books are in there, tools. So these are calculators and spreadsheets and things like that. Websites, these are all the websites we use in research. We can find out pretty much anything about any person, any area, any property. That's all in there. We have the monthly newsletter that you get the copy and use for your own newsletters. We just recommend that you don't call it a newsletter. So EXP links, these are vital links to the EXP systems. GIA resources, these are internal team resources. Okay. Scripts are in there, right? Some training is in there on like KV Core and things like that. Training courses are accessed through this portal. And of course, we have a whole section on AI tools. But here's where we are going to go to GIA Fast Track, right? You have to actually click on it again because it's a separate platform. Okay, there I am. And if you scroll down, this was your 90-day fast start, right? 30-day increments. In the first part of the first 90 days, which is the first 30 days, the first step involves the vision exercise, the goals, the actions exercise, and the plans. So we did the vision exercise last week. Today I met with Bonetta and Kendra um, to do some work on that. I suggest you guys, if you do the same thing, that would be great. If unless you're self-sufficient, you've done this before with the team, you know what to do. That's great. If not, I can help you one-on-one. So let's click on goals. Okay, these are the instructions. That's why all these are downloadable, printable, copyable. So again, if you're not on the team, you don't have access to this, just email me. The email is in the chat box, and we can get the recording of the class to you from last week and a copy of these instructions. Okay. So, in any case, the prep work for this is actually very similar, almost identical to the prep work for the vision exercise. So if you click on those instructions, it's pretty well spelled out. Okay. What you do and how you do it. We went over that in great detail last week. So to prepare for the goals, it's the same process. You need to find a place that's quiet, where you can Eliminate all external distractions, like from cell phones and computers and TVs and radios and things like that, including people, by the way. I mean, we love our families, we love our friends, we love our pets, but for about 2 hours, you're going to want to have 100% devoted, focused time and energy for these exercises, okay, to get the most out of them. So now here's the tie-in. All four steps, vision, the vision exercise, the goals exercise, the actions exercise, and the planning process are all very much interrelated. And you have to do them in that specific order, the vision exercise first, okay? So where the goals come in, well, let's just do a quick review here. So the vision exercise, you're answering the question on your last day, what do you want to see when you look back upon your life? Okay. Um, Now the question's a pretty simple question to understand. The process of answering it depends on your level of commitment to the process. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, one being very little committed, 10 being very much committed, the closer you are to 10, in fact, I suggest you go at it as if you're a 10, okay, the more you're going to get out of it. In fact, you actually will get some pretty uh, astounding results, okay? So when you're writing your vision exercise, it's like you're telling a story, okay? And we call the process future projection. You project forward on your last day, and you're writing it as if you're looking back over your life. It's almost like writing a movie script, right? It's more than a eulogy. A eulogy is usually a paragraph. This is a freaking story, okay? And it covers all the environments of your life, right? And the way you and I met is through business. So business will be one of those environments. All your environments interact with each other, some more so than others, right? Your physical health, for example, has a dramatic impact on your mental health and vice versa. Um, you've probably seen people work themselves to the bone and get sick, right? They're mentally exhausted and they're susceptible to getting sick. So in any case, as you impact one environment, so will you impact one or more other environments at varying degrees. Okay. So in any case, so you've got your vision exercise written out. Um, you've identified this person who is you on a much grander scale, a scale that you're incapable of left to your own devices. So you've got to do this exercise um, to operate at another level. Okay. It's just like anything worthwhile in life. If it's a major giant leap forward, it's going to generally require you to think at a different level, right? And this is going to help you accomplish that, this whole process. So now, when you're writing your goals out, you're writing the answer to the question. The question is, what goals does this person have? The person you described in the first exercise that we just described, the vision exercise. So the second exercise is the goals. You're writing what goals does that person have you described in your vision exercise for all your environments. It could include travel, learning foreign languages, um, learning how to golf, you know, you know, wanting to be the best spouse you can be, the best parent you can be, the best brother or sister you can be, the best child you could be, the best grandparent you could be, whatever it is, the best friend you could be, right? Um, you can actually study and practice to improve all those roles in your life. So, anyways, you want to write your goals out now to help you determine the difference because a lot of people sometimes overanalyze things and may get stumped. So, when you write something out in your goals, sometimes to me, that would look like a vision. For example, let's take travel, for example. The vision might be you want to be a world traveler. You want to see all the major continents of the world and experience all the major cultures and religions of the world and eat all the different food of the world, which like me, yeah, I like to eat and I like eating food around the world. But in any case, back to this, the vision would be as you as a world traveler. A goal would be the second week of August, 2024. I'm going to visit Alaska on an Alaskan cruise. Now that's a goal. It's specific. It's time bound. It's easily measurable, right? And easy to verify and validate, easily trackable. And it ties in directly with your vision of wanting to be a world traveler. Okay, so if everybody could do it, just a quick check here. Just want to check where everybody is. Um, if this makes sense to you, just please type in the letters MS for makes sense in the chat box. Okay. Let me do a stop share here. And if you have a question, just please type in Q, the letter Q for a question. Okay. And we got plenty of time, guys. I don't mind taking time to further explain this. Um, so, in any case, um, I see some things in the chat box. I'll get back to these other subjects um, in a bit. Let's see. Okay. All right. Lots of responses there. Excellent. Um, let's take another example. Let's take an example from our business lives. Okay. So 101 is someone I can volunteer or someone to step up and volunteer. So the first person to volunteer, um, I'll give you a free strategy session next week. When there's no strategy sessions available next week, you won't see anything on the calendar. I am going to be available. I'll be here with my mom, taking her to several appointments. And instead of waking up at 5 in the morning, I'll probably wake up at like 6 or 7. So I'm going to sleep in a little bit, but I'll be available. So you guys can call me next week. So Patricia's raised her hand. All right, hang on, Patricia. Hey, Patricia, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm going to change my view to gallery view, hopefully. Let's see if Patricia's, they go to participants, panelists. Where did she go? I know we promoted her earlier. Oh, here we go. Patricia, if it looks like you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. It might be your microphone.
I'm not talking. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Yep. Now I can see you and hear you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Are you in the great state of Washington also?
No, I'm actually in Arizona. I have two residencies. I in Santa Monica, California, and Arizona, but my license is here in Scottsdale for Arizona.
Yeah. Two excellent, awesome areas. So been to Santa Monica many times and Scottsdale several times too. There's a great little church there in Paradise Valley called the Little Chapel.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you can find it on Facebook. I think there's a website. I don't know how current they keep it, but there's
Yeah,
two. What's that? It's called the Little Chapel. It's in Paradise Valley, and I actually got to speak there one time several years ago. So the main pastor is a name like a person by the name of Sarah O'Meara,
okay.
and yep, she and her partner um, uh, Yvonne Fedderson were both movie stars in Hollywood in an old sitcom going back to I don't know how long, but she'd been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize 30 times.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. Yep. So she doesn't preach every single Sunday. You've got to look it up and Google it and go to the Facebook page and all that to figure out which she'll have a Christmas session. In fact, it may be this coming weekend if it wasn't this past weekend. And I highly encourage you to go. Everybody needs to go to at least once. So, in any case, let's talk about you. So I'll have you do the vision exercise. I know you haven't been able to do it because you weren't here last week. We'll make sure we get you the instructions. And once you do that, we'll work on your goals. So the example I gave it to give it the difference between a vision and a goal, like a vision would be world traveler, a goal would be go to Alaska second week of August 2024. So when it comes to business, what would you say is your vision? I know you haven't done the vision exercise yet, but just what you know so far or what you want so far, what is your vision for your business? What would you like to see on a broad scale?
I'd like to work with investors.
Okay, that's a great vision. And it's also very appropriate because guess what we do? We work with investors on our team. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to, I guess I'd like to deal with like Section 8 buildings and commercial buildings, anything like
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right, good. So the vision would be working with investors, and a goal would be in the year 2024. This is perfect. We do this every year the same time, by the way, so we can hit the ground running in January. But you could say in the year 2024, one of your goals is to establish relationships with 12 investors, one per month, right? 12 investors you want to build solid business relationships with in 2024.
Okay.
So that would be one goal. Now, another goal would be of the 12 investors, help at least 6 of them, which is half, um, learn the benefits of working with Section 8 subsidy tenants. Okay. So that means you're going to have to play the role of a teacher and help instruct them and advise them and why they should entertain um, renting to Section 8 tenants. Okay. So let's see, what's another one? And you could say, so 6 of them do that. And then you could say 3 of them, 3 of the 6, which is another half of a half, um, will purchase each 4 properties in the year 2024 that will be used to house Section 8 tenants. So that would be 3 times 4 is 12 properties would now be made available to Section 8 tenants. That's a very noble goal, you know? Yep. So,
Great. Love it. Yeah, I
yep.
work with sex traffic survivors. So I lead a mentor team, and that's actually one of my goals is to personally, I would like to own a Section 8 building, and I would like to provide housing for them once they get out of the program.
Excellent. Yep. Well, by the way, Jennifer Foley's on the team. She joined probably a little over a month ago, and she's on tonight. She's in your area, right in Scottsdale. Yep.
Great.
Yeah, we do a lot of collaboration. It's what's cool is we're in 38 states, so there's never more than a small handful of us in any one particular area. So it's almost like there's no competition. It's better to support each other. You'll find out, especially with investors. Um, it's a small community, and once they get to know you and like you, you'll won't have to worry so much about you know you know future deals and loyalty that you because we teach you how to work with the right kind of investors. You're always going to have the investors who just they're taught the old school way, um, which is we're simply a cog in the works. But the really good investors, people that own businesses themselves, will very much appreciate your level of skill when you learn to walk the walk and talk the talk. You understand the terminology and the methodology. They won't want to go anywhere else. You know. So
Yeah. I have a wholesaler that feeds me properties. He seems to be a legitimate person referred to me by my title company.
mhm.
So yeah, and I have someone in California who is an old friend of like 30 years ago, friend of a friend, and he wants to work with me as well. And he owns Section 8 buildings. He owns a lot of properties. He's a director. So he wants to work with me as well. And he knows I'm new. So he's willing to like work with me and help me. And so this group would be really helpful too, because I really want to understand the business. I want to offer the best possible
Yep.
service to my clients and be very knowledgeable. And that's where I feel like right now, the brokerage I'm with, I'm just not feeling like I'm getting any kind of help. And yeah, it's frustrating.
Is it more of a traditional type brokerage, like old school,
Yes.
different print? You know.
Well,
Yeah. That.
it's a well-known realty group, but I'm just not really getting the assistance that I feel I need. And maybe I'm not asking. However, I have, and I was just told by my broker, I had actually have an investor who flips properties, and I presented him a property over the weekend. I reached out to my broker, said, hey, help me write a deal, because I was new, like within a month or two. And he said, I'm at a wedding. And when I reached out to him, he said, oh, well, I'm busy right now. So I scrambled, actually found someone to help me write the offer. But my broker didn't even reach out to me the next day. Hey, did you find someone to help you write the offer? And I thought, what's up with this? So I'm really looking to work with people that are willing to work with me and guide them and eventually train others and help them.
Oh, well, that's all. Well, I'll tell you what, you couldn't have a better person to introduce you to this than Giselle. I mean, she's taken to it like a duck to water, joining local networking groups for investing and interviewing people and building relationships. It's exactly what you do. And sadly, I mean, I've been a trainer. I've all over the U.S. and Canada training agents how to work with investors. But I can tell you, pretty much 90% of the traditional real estate industry is not set up to work with investors. They don't understand them. They don't take the time to. I mean, so there are some to do. There's a small handful to do, and really make a business out of it, and behave more professionally. That's the one thing about this with investors is it's more business oriented. It's more business like, you know, and you build really awesome long-term relationships. I mean, I've had clients, take my brother and I ski in the Vail, Colorado for free for a week because I helped him flip a building and make $290,000 on it. It's amazing. And once you help your clients do something like that, they'll never go anywhere else. But the old brokerages, unfortunately, they treat investing as something you do on the side. It's like a necessary evil kind of thing. They don't really have any training for it. So in any case, I don't want to bash the other brokers.
No.
I used to own my own brokerage, and I built that because of the exact reason you just gave. Because where I was the same way. They didn't understand investing. I would tell them what I wanted to do, what my clients wanted. Inevitably, they would say, well, just sit at the desk and answer the phone for 2 hours. That kind of stuff. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. Doesn't work with investors. They're not going to come by the office. They're not going to call you either. So in any case, hang around with Giselle. And if you do decide if you like this and you want to learn more about it, just let Giselle or I know. We're happy to share with you, all the training, the coaching, everything that we have. So we're happy to share. Yeah. And thank you for participating, for volunteering.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, how about another volunteer? We can choose a different subject, like your own investing, for example. Who here would like to own some of your own rentals, flip homes and own rentals? Other than me, yeah. So there you go. Hey, who's Alan Kroll? How you doing, man? Looks, where'd he go? There. Oh, it looks like you're muted, Alan. Let me click the ask to unmute button. So you should have a microphone symbol.
Unmute. There we go.
Oh,
Can you
there
hear
you
me
go.
now?
Yeah.
All right.
What
Yeah.
part of the country are you in?
The background you see on my photo there is the Bay of Green Bay. So I'm about
Green Bay Packer.
the
Go,
Green Bay
Pat, go.
Peninsula sticks way up into Lake Michigan. It's a 70-mile
Nice.
long peninsula. I'm almost at the tip of that, about 5 miles from the end of that peninsula.
Wow. Well, I know it's beautiful country up there, So
Yeah.
I was blessed to be able to travel the entire country and most of Canada for several years. And I taught up in Wisconsin and all over the northern Minnesota and of course Michigan too. People, for anybody here, if you've never been up there, like the Upper Peninsula, you can't imagine what that's like. I mean, I've noticed if you've been to the beaches like on the East Coast or in the Caribbean, just prepare yourself for a really awesome surprise if you go up to the Northern Peninsula. It's amazing. So Alan, tell me a little bit about well, first off, have you invested before or have you invested already?
Oh, we own 7 investment properties. So yeah.
Okay.
We have short-term rentals up here. I live in Door County, Wisconsin. It's a largely seasonal, it's kind of, they call it the Cape Cod of the Midwest.
Yeah.
And it's that for a reason. We have, lots of $1 million homes on the coastline and, shops and breweries and all this other kind of stuff. We're a vacation destination of the Midwest here. So
Nice.
we started with our investments back in Virginia. Lived in DC area for about 38 years, bought properties there, commercial and residential real estate, and then sold those, bought properties here in Door County when we moved here in 2019. Right now we're getting ready to sell a couple of the properties we have here in Door County and buy some properties in central Wisconsin, the area where I grew up. So we're actively moving investment properties now.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, by the way, quick little side note, I went to high school at Fauquier High School,
Oh, okay.
graduated 81. Yeah. So this is back when Fauquier County was all cows,
Yeah,
in
that's
one high
beautiful.
school.
Reminded me
Yeah.
of southern Wisconsin. When I was there. I used to hunt out in Fauquier County out near Warrenton.
Yeah. Well, I had a feeling you weren't originally from Wisconsin because you obviously don't sound, you don't get a lot of people in Wisconsin sound almost like they're Canadian,
Yeah, well, I was born in Wisconsin. I lived here first 22 years of my life. Gone 38, back the last 4. So I still say
Okay.
you bet. Use guys, Minnesota, with the Oda on it, stuff
Oh, yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
I probably got rid of a lot of when I lived out east.
Yeah. Well, so tell me, if you were to describe your vision for your investing, I know you said you started offloading, but what's your vision for your own personal investing? Like, not necessarily like I want to make, so much money, but what you want it to do for you, your lifestyle, that kind of thing.
Basically that it pays for a comfortable retirement. I turned 65 this year, so I get all these Medicare calls.
Yeah.
So I'm still actively invested, still working on properties. I'm renovating a couple homes right now. I finished off basements in 6 homes. I usually target homes with unfinished basements so that I can improve them and improve the equity position in them. So it's kind of a general model, but the really the long-term thing is to be able to have a manageable portfolio of investment properties that pays for a comfortable retirement. And as time moves forward, to have it become less intensive than, the vacation rental market that I'm in. Because when you don't have cleaners, you're cleaning houses,
Right.
in the summertime, and sometimes you don't have people available. So you're staying busy greeting guests and, making sure all the, experiences are great. And, so looking to probably do that for another 3 or 4 years and then kind of phase out of that and move
Okay.
more into long-term, investment, properties.
Okay. All right. Now the ones you have now, do you have, what percentage of them are you using for short-term rentals, like vacation rentals? Is that majority of them or?
Half of them are short-term rentals, half are long-term rentals.
Okay. All right. Now, are you opposed or are you, let me put it this way. Are you open to investing in other areas, more metropolitan areas, like, Milwaukee, Green Bay, not Detroit specifically, but around Detroit, um, suburbs of Chicago, places like that. Are you open to having properties that aren't exactly right down the road?
Not inclined toward that direction. Part of what we're looking to do with some of these investment properties, like the ones we're moving now and, looking to acquire, the ones we're looking to acquire, we will probably use those down the line, as second homes or principal residences and convert them, down the line. That's kind of what the goal is for those properties. Now, the other ones that are here that we keep for another 3 or 4 years, they might be, more in line with, more diversified portfolio, type of situation. So
Okay.
I'd say the possibilities of doing remote, but right now the focus would be more regional.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned diversification. That's where I was going with this. So of the rental market, there's 3 major sectors, and you've got 2 of them covered. You got regular long-term rentals, and you've got the short-term vacation rentals, which is really good because where you are, you should be able to rent those things pretty much year round. I mean, even though I know it's freezing cold in the wintertime, people still want to go up there. They want the view. But the third sector is now people call it midterm rentals. It's actually corporate housing. And what it is traveling business people. You've got business and finance, executives and management and so forth. You've got industrial, which includes oil and gas, which probably isn't where you are, but there could be some other things, natural resources going up there. You got sports and entertainment. Um, you've got medical, okay, traveling nurses and things like that, and then high tech, software developers and so forth. So wherever you have a metropolitan area, you're generally going to have a market for those midterm rentals. They're generally coming, staying greater than a month, but less than a year. So figure, 6, 9 months, and they're usually will pay more than double the prevailing rates for traditional rentals. And yet you don't have the turnover that you have with the short-term rentals. You're cleaning the place out maybe once or twice a year, and yet these people show up. They're not showing up with their pets and their children. They're showing up by themselves. They often go home, fly home on the weekends. So there's little wear and tear on your property. You get double the rates and less headache. So it's a great third sector to complement what we're already doing. And it's much easier to manage remotely because again, you're not cleaning out, every three to 7 days. So I don't know if that sounds appealing to you at all, or
That
you
does.
know,
That
okay,
could be part of our targeting when we sell these properties and go to central Wisconsin, because I would like to, like our short-term rentals, we're on about a 20% cap rate on our short-term rentals, and it's a
yep,
seasonal thing, 4 months a year. So in 4 months, we do about 20% cap rate. The rest of the year, it's pretty
yeah,
much, very low. In central Wisconsin, there would be more of a demand for that. I think medical, traveling nurses,
yep,
and business people coming in and going, and 1 to 3 month rentals or things like that would be ideal. That I've got no problem. I'd like to have less churn there. I wouldn't want to
yep,
do short term there. And long term is not as fruitful a market, to be in.
right,
So midterm would be my preference after short term.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you the other challenge with the long-term rentals, traditional rentals, is all the laws and governing policies at the state level and sometimes even national are geared towards rentals, right? Providing more rentals. And if you look at the latest quasi-government program through Fannie Mae, they want you and I to buy fourplexes. They're going to give us you know, let us buy 5% down and give us the 30-year term. Now, granted, you have to live in one of them, but what that tells you is government policy is driving towards bigger rental market. Okay. And we already kind of knew that's what's happening going back 10 years. We knew the percentage of home ownership was going to be dropping, and we knew percentage of rentership was going to be increasing. Well, what happens when any one demographic in any population begins to change or the demands of that market grow? Does the government get more involved or less involved? More,
More involved when you have
more
government program.
involved,
Yeah.
which means more regulation, more legislation. So I'm not like an anti-government kind of person. I prefer less government over more government, to be honest with you. But at the same time, we'll need to have some regulation. But the point is the more the government gets involved with that sector, the less control you and I are going to have. The fewer rights we'll maintain as an owner. Okay, the rights were shifting and have been shifting towards the tenants. And again, I'm not making any political commentary. It's a business commentary. Wherever you have more regulation and legislation, you also have more taxation, right? To pay for all that regulation and legislation. So you're going to be forking out more of your profits. And also the government will control the rents and things like that. The good news is they're not doing that with the corporate housing and midterm rentals. Just pretty much we're cruising along and nobody's paying attention. And we'll hope that stays that way for a long time. The short-term rentals is obviously different set of rules and regulations, but the government has been cracking down at the local level. Local governments have been really cracking down on short-term rentals. Pretty much, you probably experienced it, right? All over the country. Yeah.
Door County's gone wild lately. Yeah,
Yep.
with the regulations.
Yep. So the midterm rentals is like that's the third leg of a good solid three-legged stool. It's not that you don't do the others anymore. It's just add the third leg, and you've got now three sources of income from one basic genre, which is rental real estate, So, so maybe a goal might be, um, you know, the phase you're in now is, say you'll take 3 of your properties this next year and, convert them to be able to be sold and cash in on that. And then, another 3 properties could be midterm rental properties in areas that have demand for any of those business sectors, like traveling nurses, for example. And by the way, you'll have towns. Have you ever been to Appleton, Wisconsin?
Yeah,
It's at the top of one of those lakes. I forget the lake. That's a perfect example. It's like a secondary, tertiary town, and it's got enough of a population to create demand, but yet it's not like Milwaukee or Green Bay.
right.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it's top of
great
Lake
little
Winnebago.
towns.
Lake
What's that?
Winnebago. Lake
Lake
Winnebago.
Winnebago. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And if homes are pretty affordable there and you get a pretty decent home for, 225 or so. And there's a
Yeah.
fairly good employment market around there. It's that mid market between Green Bay and Milwaukee area.
Well, that's pretty
North
awesome.
South. Yeah.
225, because I tell you what, you ask most people on this call tonight, 225 left their area a long time ago. Yeah.
And how? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the prices have gone nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
So does that help, Alan? Kind of, if
Yeah.
good.
The
Now,
open
I'm
got me thinking about that mid range market for, diversifying. So yeah, very good.
yeah. I mean, there's other things going on. Like there's parts of the country where you can now zone out a part of your lot that your house is on for a secondary, like the little tiny home kind of thing.
Right.
And
Accessory development.
yep, they let you use the co-op language and laws to do that. So as long as you manage the thing yourself, um, you can put in like a single person in one of those little tiny homes on your property. There's a lot of stuff. Look, like Toronto, no, wait a second. 4 years ago, passed an ordinance where they were allowing residents of Toronto to build out their basements for rentals, waiving all the occupancy and zoning requirements. Carte blanche. It was crazy. They needed housing like yesterday, and that's what they did. And there's other things going on, but it sounds like you got the right idea. I mean, I'd love to pick your brain more, and just feel free to participate in class all you want.
Yeah, that's great. One other thing that we're looking at too is we have, like, where our principal residence is, we have 15 acres total, 3 5-acre lots.
Okay.
And this is something that people can look at from an investor standpoint. A lot of jurisdictions put kind of favorable zoning in for higher density if you do cluster subdivisions. So I'm looking at taking this 15 acres, which by right I could have 3 homes on, and potentially go to a 9-home cluster subdivision on it, and have lot sales for diversifying, taking essentially multiplying the value of my land 3 or 4 times what the land value is by
Right.
doing subdivision.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's cool. Hey, guys, I just reminded myself to remember this is the last official class for the year. Last Wednesday was the last team meeting for the year. Tonight's the last class for the year, so we won't meet again. We won't be meeting next Monday, the Christmas Day, and we won't be meeting Monday, New Year's Day, which is the January 1st. So next class will be Monday, January the 8th, which is we're going to do the actions exercise. So back to the goals. Anybody else want to bring up their particular circumstance? It doesn't have to be related to real estate. It could be, and we gave the example of travel, and using your license in terms of brokerage, but there's more to life than just that. Sorry guys, for some reason, the sound on my phone is on, and I know I turned it off earlier. There's a gremlin in the house. I thought it was one of your phones, but let's see, who do we have on here? Who's ready oh, how about, hey Anna, would you mind if I volunteer you? Anna Galimian?
Not at all. Hi,
Okay, good to see you.
glad to be on. Thank you.
Yeah. So
I like your sweater.
Oh, go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying I like your sweater. It's super festive.
Oh, thanks. It's surfing Santa. Eh?
I love it.
Santa on a
I love
surfboard.
it.
Yep. So now I just need to go to San Diego and hop on a surfboard.
And
I know
spread the
there's some,
Christmas cheer in the ocean.
yeah.
Super cool.
Well, I know I've got a good friend on who will appreciate that. I'm sure there's somebody's got to be surfing in San Diego with a Santa Claus sweater on or something. But um, so so here's
Oh,
a question, Anna.
sure.
You're in a unique position where you're very active in your production. You're active in agent attraction, and you have a very noble goal of building a team. So if I could to get you to stretch your imagination a little bit, what would you say is the vision that includes building a team, like your vision for your business overall? What's the vision? Um, and then let's help you identify at least one of your goals, and it could be related to building a team, or production or investing, either one, you know. But first, let's
Yeah,
focus. Yeah.
my vision is a multifold, but if I were to combine it all in all, my goal is to basically create an enterprise. I would love to be able to expand nationwide, to provide a system or to create a system of empowering agents. I see it as like a one big community of agents doing real estate, providing concierge real estate services on the most ethical, but as well as utilizing the most cutting edge tools. But just more of like concierge real estate type of system on a nationwide scale. The vision I see is that big conglomerate essentially. I am on this on the phone. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Using that system to fund the back end project. So that would include a big enterprise that gets fed from, and all of the agents will have ownership interests in real estate investments across the country that we'd acquire. But at the same time, there would be a feed into a nonprofit organization for establishing communities on a nationwide scale for orphans, for housing orphans, as well as battered women who have left, basically survivors.
Yeah.
So women and children specifically, and all of that would be tied in. So every agent that participates in this will take part of this journey, so to speak. But to establish the goals of getting there, I didn't go past 5 years, but for next year, basically I divided that into separate levels of saying, okay, how many agents do I need to recruit within a year's time frame, within a 3-year time frame, within a 5-year time frame, and then I did the same with production to be able to reach that goal. But I feel like I'm in over my reach. I'm in over my head. But yeah, as far as goals, I divided the goals into the 3 different components. So where do I need to be production wise? Where do I need to be recruitment wise or attraction wise? And where would I need to be overall as far as like what sub program am I going to be launching? So those components specifically. Sorry, I hope I'm not rambling.
Yeah. No, that helps a lot. So, so when it comes to, having or helping provide facilities for people in need of housing, like, you know, women who've been able to leave an abusive relationship, right? And particularly with children. So, so the need is definitely there, and it's definitely on a global scale. Um, so the vision is to provide that housing for those people in need. That does that do you agree? Does that sound like the vision in a short one sentence?
My in a short sentence, I would say not just provide housing, but also a community. So I would we would acquire like acres of land and build communities across the area. So we would have like tiny houses to house the women, but we'd also empower them with anything that would basically suit their talent. So we'd have gardens for them to harvest vegetables or whatnot. Basically, a life restart option, not just housing. I hope that makes sense. There's
Yeah.
something similar that Bree told me exists in Tennessee. I have never been, but I would so love to visit, where they basically make goat milk products. The women make goat milk products and sell them, but my vision encompasses a little bit more than that. So basically to foster the talents of each survivor. And it would include like scholarship opportunities to help those that need to go to school to get degrees if they want to, or for more short-term financial support, it would be like there would be crafts that they can do there, and we'd have a retail division that would be selling them online, as well as at local fairs and whatnot. We'd have educational courses. We'd have opportunities for the children as well. So basically, it's an opportunity for a second chance on life, not just the housing, but the housing would
Right.
be one component.
Right. Well, it's almost like I hate to use the word use the phrase opportunity zone, because that's already been used to identify areas of towns where it can be, regentrified, excuse me, go through gentrification. But these are clearly opportunity areas for women to get a fresh start in many ways, particularly the specific group you mentioned. So, for then the vision could be, provide, safe opportunity communities for these folks that need it, particularly women, in this case, leaving an abusive relationship, particularly if they have children. So now there's going to be, this is a huge vision, and what's going to have a lot of goals, but probably one of the first goals will be to fully flesh out the vision. I mean, like literally, like you're writing a book about it. Okay. Um, Not just a
Exactly.
business plan. Yeah, the business plan is going to be necessary, but to me, you write the story first. Okay. So a goal would be identify someone in this circumstance who's gone through this. All right. Um, and then write that person's story. Okay. And the first part will be what happened up till now, and the second part will be now what's going to be happening in the future. And that's where the vision part comes in. Um, what does that look like? What does that person's life look like? Then once you have that, you're going to be able to get the attention that anybody need to get the attention of, you know? And then you'll have help writing a business plan. You don't have to do all this yourself. Once you create the vision and write it like it's a story, and you show it to business leaders in the area, bankers, people like that, people in the news media, um, potentially um, people in the governing bodies, but you really need to start out in the communities with the people. All right. Um, yeah, I would start there. I would make that one of your goals, is to write that. And one of the tricks, Anna, is don't feel like you have to sit down at a computer and type all this stuff out. You can literally, as you're driving down the road, get a little recorder. You can use your phone if you want. Well, you can go to Best Buy for like, $30, get a recorder that you strap on. It's like just like you have a lanyard, just a piece of string that holds the thing right here below your vocal cords. And as you're driving, you speak into it. Then that's what you get transcribed. So you're speaking your story out. Does that make sense? Did you know that you can participate in class every Monday? We call it Monday Night Live, 7 p.m. Eastern, with me and dozens of other investor agents from around the country, in fact, the world. Every Monday, totally free. No selling, no recruiting, just straight up education on anything and everything in real estate. And we have a lot of good guests coming on once or twice a month, bringing in expertise on subjects like how to buy a house with crypto. Okay. How about them apples? What about AI? How's AI affecting our business? How about the metaverse, blockchain processing? We're already using it in title work. So come on to Monday Night Live, be ready to take notes and ask questions because it's live and engaging, and you get to participate by asking questions and meeting others. So we'll see you there. Go to GaryRealEstateWithGaryWilson.com, click on the resource tab, drop down, and you'll see Monday Night Live. And in there, you can see one of the most recent classes. But more importantly, you can register for class as many as you want going up to like the end of the year, I believe. So in any case, do that. We'll see you on Monday Night Live. Look forward to meeting you in person. Take care.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I really wanted to set aside some time to sort of self-reflect and to get the story straight. Because the vision is there, but you're absolutely right. I'm in need of filling in those details and making sure that it's as clear as it can be so that I can have more concrete goals to work towards.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I tell you what, that is an awesome, awesome vision. And you can definitely leverage your real estate activities to feed that vision. I mean, you're producing, you know how to invest, you're building a team. I think building the team is going to be key for you, even though it's going to take time at first to get it up and running. Eventually you'll get to the team to the point where, you know, you're basically playing the role of leader and you're not in production. Then you can devote more time to realizing this vision, you know, this opportunity community, you know, and also
Exactly.
attract help. Yeah. So, well, thank you for sharing that. That is a big,
Oh,
beautiful, bold vision.
thank you. Thank you. I hope that I don't ever lose sight of it and that I have the strength and stamina to keep moving forward to realizing it.
Yep. Well, I like it. Well, yeah, just keep plugging away. I know the vision I had for the Healing House Foundation was 25 years before it finally came to be. 25 years, you know, and it never died. It just, you know, it's just like the analogy I use is sometimes if the time's not right, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just not right now. So it's not like you throw the vision away. You just put it on the back burner. You put it asleep. It's like you put a baby to sleep. The baby's going to wake up again, right? And then you play with your baby. So this is, you know, don't feel discouraged if things don't move as fast as you want. Now, having said that, your 2024 may start off like you're shot out of a rocket or shot out of a cannon, and you write that story, and you get the attention of someone that's in a position to really help it move forward, like someone in the media, you know, or someone in the
Yeah,
business.
that's why
Yep.
you just have to have a vision and just keep working
Yep.
towards it in whatever way you can. And even though life
Yep.
could snooze it for a little bit, you never know what could be the catalyst to triggering a domino
Yep.
of effects. For everyone listening, never ever give up. Just keep that vision alive and keep having that objective to always get there. And you never know who's going to be able to be there to unlock that for you.
Yep. Well said. Thank you, Anna. Okay, guys, that was, yeah, oh, you're welcome. So that was a great way to take us to the 8 o'clock hour. This is, of course, Eastern time. But before we wrap up, guys, and again, I'll stay on if you guys need for a little bit. But I want to give you 2 more referral systems for those of you who want transactions now. Okay, we know what time of year it is. Please write these 2 down. One of them is called 22 Sold. So the number 22 and the word sold, SOLD. Okay. If you want to understand, I've not heard anything bad about that referral network yet. Called 22 Sold. It works. We have people on the team using it. Deb Warner, for example, is using it. She gets transactions from it. The other one's simply called Referral Network, and I think we brought that one up before. Has anybody used or heard of Referral Network? Okay, it came up a few months ago. So check those out, guys. If you want to tomorrow, check out Referral Network and 22 Sold. So while the volume is down like it is, this is a great way to put some transactions on your table. The last thing I want to share technology wise is an AI app called InVideo, and it came up this morning on the Honey Badger Leadership Group. So Andre, you were on this morning, right? Yep. I can't remember the
Yeah.
guy's name. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he said it was called InVideo. And the video he showed guys was really good, and it was total AI. He said it was 100% untouched by human hands. I don't know if it's free or not, but a lot of these apps are free right now. So it's InVideo. Okay, remember that. Okay, with that, does anybody have any questions on anything? Vision exercise, goals exercise, um, a challenge with a transaction or a client? Okay, because I don't mind hanging out a little bit. This could be the first
Um,
time, and yes.
yeah, I do. I have a
Hey,
situation
Patricia.
that I think the writing's pretty much on the wall, but I just wondered if there's a way I can get some information.
Sure, fire away.
Okay, so I have an investor who supposedly wants to work with me. I sent him a letter stating that I would receive a 3% commission on any off-market properties that I present to him. And I gave him a time period. And I just made it a 6 month because I just wanted it done in writing so then I could present him properties. But he came back and said, well, I only want to do it per property. And I thought, well, how does that make sense? Like I send you a contract, I give you the address in the contract, and before you even sign it, like you can go in and make an offer. But I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot, sent it to him a couple of times. And he came back and told me, oh yeah, oh no, I put in an offer on that at whatever amount. So I reached out to my wholesaler and I said, this guy's kind of peculiar. Like he always says, oh yeah, I already knew about that. I already knew about that. And this is my wholesaler who I work very closely with. And he said, no, I've never heard of that guy. And so I did all my research. And first of all, before I worked with him, I wanted to know who he was, what he was about, what the names of his companies, what exactly he does. So basically what he does is he buys properties and then he puts them into an LLC. But he has like multiple names and he's a broker who has other agents working for him. And so he doesn't really need me other than that I could bring him off market properties that he doesn't know about, which I have done in the past. The first property he came in and he lowballed it. And I even was willing to negotiate my percentage just to get the deal, right? Because it was my first deal. And he said, I thought, anything is better than nothing. So and I said, okay, I'm willing to give this. What are you willing to give? And he didn't. And he's like, I'm not budging. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm willing to budge. Like, why don't you budge? So in the end, I have given him a couple of properties through my wholesaler, and I reached out to him. I said, hey, did you get an offer from this company for this amount? He's like, no, never heard of them. So how do I do my research to find out if his company actually came in, or someone else from his company came in and made an offer? Or do I even really want to bother wasting my time on that? Because my wholesaler told me, look, if anybody by that name or that company comes in, I will definitely give you the commission. But I'm really done with this person. But I'm just curious. Like, I feel like he's a slime ball, and he's probably not someone I want to bother my time with anyway. But just for my own knowledge, like, how do I do that research?
Well, it can be difficult. So we have a tool in our system that we use that goes into county records for every property and every owner in the country. So we could plug in the address and find out, who bought it and who sold it. But remember, he can use different entities. So he can buy
Right.
this property using ABC LLC and use 123 LLC for the next property. And if he owns a brokerage, if he's a broker, he can have different agents, sign the paperwork and pay him as a transaction licensee on each of those. And the only way to really dig down through that is, you almost have to subpoena them to get all the paperwork. So what you get from the county website is simply like the deed recording and anything that a closing officer would deem important to record. Sometimes they'll record the sales agreement, they'll record all the addendums and everything. I used to own a title company, and we would often do that. It's more money, costs money to record all those documents. But what I'm getting is if they're recorded, then they're accessible to the general public after a closing. So you can go in. Sometimes you got to pay for it and get everything associated with that closing that's been recorded. You can see who signed the documents. Then you can Google them and see if they're an agent on this guy's or in this guy's brokerage. When it comes to the LLCs, see, a lot of investors will use registered agents to set up an LLC for them. And it's not always easy to find out who's the underlying owner. But what you could do is go to the county record and see what the mailing address is for tax documents, right? So any tax documents for that property are not going to go to the registered agent. Typically, they'll go to the owner, whether it's an LLC or an individual, and you'll have that address. And you can Google the address and see if that address is the same address as this person, the individual, and also any other LLC he or she might have. But at the end of the day, honestly, Patricia, there's things that we do marketing wise that help get you in front of the right kind of people, right? There's enough people out there in the world to make it all look bad, but fortunately, they're the exception. You know, most people are generally, on the up and up. If you treat them right and you do a good job and help them make money, they're gonna love you. But a guy like this has probably been conditioned to abuse relationships to get ahead and save money at all costs. His life's going to be short lived, um, and you can find for every one of him you can find 100 good investors. So I don't know that I would go through all the trouble to chase all that down, but what you could do is write up a compensation agreement, right? And don't put any property addresses in there. Just tell him you're not going to provide any properties until he signs that. And I'll even go a step further. You could even do a property by property form. Like we've had to do that in the past with different investors. But what you do is you don't provide the property address on the form or anywhere until he signs it, you know? And when he signs it, then you can provide the property address. Um, but it sounds like he's been conditioned on not signing your documents until after you provided the address. And then he says, "Oh, I already knew about that." So you just don't provide anything unless you have a signed document. And at the end of the day, if he doesn't sign it and you don't get any more calls from him, you probably save yourself a lot of headache and heartache because it doesn't sound like you've made much to begin with from him, right? So now you're saving yourself time. There's an old saying, which is believe him the first time. People will show you who they are. Yeah, believe
Yeah.
him the first time. So he's showing his true colors. I doubt he's going to change because of you or me. But again, you could try. You could say, look, you know, this has been the pattern here. If you want to work with me, sign this document, and when you do, I'll provide you the next property, and we'll do that going forward. You know, and you know, put in there, and you can actually record that document. You can record it at the county courts once you fill in the address. And anytime somebody goes to sell it, the title company is going to do the research and find that document recorded. And they're going to say, wait a minute, we got to pay this person. If he says no, the title company say, well, I can't close for you then because I'm not going to issue title insurance for someone that can make a claim for a commission down the road. You know, but that's just a lot of work for what's essentially a jerk.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so,
I-
but you could
Exactly.
try it, give it the old college try, and you could walk away with your head held high knowing you did the right thing the right way. Or you might come clean and say, okay, I'm in, I'll sign it. What do we do next? You know, at least you'll
And
know for sure.
I would add to that, Carrie's thought there. If you're not including the address, I absolutely don't. And I was going to suggest the same thing, but also don't include a photo because you might think you would be doing a good thing. It's like, hey, here's this deal, here's the parameters, here's the figures. I'm not giving you the address, but here's a picture of what it looks like. Because that person can take that photo and then do a Google image search, reverse search, and find the same photo online, and thereby getting the address without using you. You know.
But what would the contract state? That's the confusing part. That I'm providing a property in, I mean, how vague, I mean, what would be the verbiage? Because he said, well, I want to do it property by property, because he said, I could be buying a property that I already know about, and then I have to pay you because it's in this time frame.
Just
So
fire
what
back
would,
and say, look, I understand what you're, and be polite. Say, I understand what you're saying, sir. However, I feel the same way. I could be providing you the property address, and all you got to say is, oh, I already knew about that. So let's do the fair, correct thing. You sign the document, all right? Him sign it first. And before you sign it, you can provide the address. But remember, he's already signed it. You could just go ahead and sign it anyways. But do it that way. You know, but for him to play that game, that just tells me, I mean, I don't know him, but he's crooked. If he's
yeah,
playing that game with you and
I
he's
don't
a
even want to
broker,
deal with people like that.
yeah, I'm telling you, your life is short. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey,
And
Gary,
you're a happy, worthy, smart person you're already successful. I can hear it in your voice, the questions you ask, the fact that you're on here tonight, bringing this up tells me you're a success-minded person. You're for every one of him, I promise you, God's gonna give you 3 good people coming up. Probably the next 4 to 8 weeks, you'll get some good investors, you know?
hey,
Yeah.
Gary,
Yep. Hey,
can you hear
Vanetta.
me? Yeah, that's
Yep.
Maya Angelou. Is that quote is from Maya Angelou? Believe people the first time when they show you who they are.
Yeah.
He's right. Don't by the address. Yeah, he's a slime ball. One of my friends told me a long time ago, all money's not good money. So one thing about being in business for yourself, you don't have to work with everybody. It's not like you work for corporate America, so you don't have to work with everybody. So I will keep it moving, sister. Keep it moving.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks, Vanetta. Hey, guys, Michael McGran was asking what transcribe service do I use for transcribing recordings? And nowadays, there's so many of them that are free. I mean, you could just Google free audio transcription and get several AI. As a matter of fact, there's an AI bot you can get that'll transcribe your recording. Um, Mike, if you go to the team website and go to the AI tools, actually, let me just go there real quick. I think we already have one identified. Let me go back to the dashboard. Let's see. That's the old dashboard. Let's go to the new dashboard. Okay, the last one on the right, AI tools. Click on that. And AI tools is on the left. Okay, so you click on that. Okay, turn text into talking head videos, create a text to speech voice clone, make short-term videos, create realistic images, portrait studio photos, automatic video meeting summaries. Well, that sounds like they're going to provide a summary. That might be one there, Tactic, TACTIQ. Check into that one. Convert videos to articles. That might work too. You're taking a video, converting it to audio article, excuse me. Build a website in 30 seconds. Automatically generate presentations, create ebooks and lead gen magnets. I don't see an exact match there, Mike, other than the tactic.io, but you can Google audio transcription, free audio transcriber, free audio transcription. You'll probably get hundreds of hits, you know. let's see. We did that. Oh, thanks. Giselle provided the in video link in there, guys. If you look in the chat box, so that's in there. And by the way, Patricia, thanks again for sharing. You know, if, just keep up with Giselle. If you can come again on the 8th of January, that would be great. And you're welcome to, Giselle can share with you. Actually, I put my email in the chat box. If you go to scroll to the top of the chat box, you'll see my email in there. You can email it too if you need something over the holidays. But I always say, give it the old college try. Try one more time with him your way, and just don't budge. If he doesn't want to comply, then he's just proven himself to be the person that we believe he is.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent him probably 4 or 5 properties. Nothing's transpired out of it, and yeah, and it was just my gut that he's a scammer.
If
So,
you don't mind me asking, I've been there quite a bit, including teaching out there. What's his name or what's the company name?
let me pull it up.
Like the brokerage or even his name?
Yes. Hold on 1 second. I have all the
Okay.
documents.
Yeah, I'd like to know who to avoid.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Hold on, I'll tell you 1 second.
I'm here in Scottsdale with you.
Oh,
Patricia.
great. Oh, wonderful. Well, maybe we can do work together.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, wouldn't that be cool if we could create? I've seen this before, just like you have a tenant screening service. If we had a service, you can plug in investor's name and it'll come back and give you a
Like
review.
red
Yeah.
flag, right?
Oh yeah.
Pedro.
RateMyInvestor.com.
It's networthaz.com.
I don't think I'm familiar with that company. Yeah.
Yeah, I did the research and had to call my title company, and I did a lot of.
Well, I'll tell you what, I would definitely, for you and Jeanette both, you could probably do this together. Google the real estate investment clubs in the area. You typically have a couple of REIA groups, REIA, Real Estate Investors of America. Check them out, scope them out, look for reviews, look for their meetup groups online, and go ahead and start tending some of them, and just settle on one that you really like. And maybe you each go to a different one, and you can share contacts and information.
What did you say? I'm sorry. I'm going to write this down. Real Estate Investors Group.
Yes, it's REIA, REIA, Real Estate Investors of America. That's the biggest network that's out there. They're pretty big. And if you start there should be a couple of good groups in the area, and you'll meet you can when you're in there, what you can do is ask the vendors, the contractors, the lenders, the attorneys, who are the good guys? Who's the good investors that you should be saddling up next to? Do it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So the name of the company here, there are multiple. It's Salt River Equity LLC. The seller, or no, that's not the seller. You don't need the seller. Yeah, so the guy's name, so the company is Salt River Equity LLC, and they have, his name is Aaron Culliton, Cullitan.
Yeah,
And
I
he
don't
also,
recognize the name.
Pedro Hernandez is one of his real estate agents who I've been working with, and the name of the brokerage is Net Worth Realty.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, but they're probably just small local outfit. So, hey, by the way, Jeanette provided her number, Patricia, if you look in the chat box. So go see that.
Also, Gary, Amanda had a question. Can you give the links to the 2 referral places that you mentioned?
Oh, well, let's go Google them. Let's see. Amanda, how you been, by the way? It's good to see you. Okay, let's do this. 22 sold. Well, you know what? I wonder if it's together. 22 sold. Let's do capital. 22 sold. 22 square.
Sorry, Gary, can you hear me now?
Oh, hey, Amanda. Yep, I can. How are you?
Good, how are you? Yeah, I Googled it and it came up with a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah. Let me, yeah, I'm seeing that now. Let's see, 22.
Sold.com is a referral agency, but it has really bad reviews, so I didn't think that that was what you were talking about.
Yeah. Sold referral program. Let's see. I just typed it all out. 18 best referral programs to make money, blah, blah, blah. We don't know if that's real estate. So real estate, let's just put in real estate. Ramsey Solution. Okay, real estate referral programs receive 8+ referrals a month.
Hey, Gary,
Yes, ma'am.
I see 72sold.com.
Oh, I wonder if it's 72 sold. Thank you, Bonetta.
You're
Because
welcome.
my 2s and my 7s look an awful lot alike. So
I
can you type it in
don't
the chat box, Bonetta? Would you mind?
I don't know if that's a referral network. I think I'm not sure if it's a broker, but they basically promise they're going to sell houses in 72 hours or whatever they do.
Yeah,
But I don't know if
I actually heard there was someone in my realty that at my brokerage that they had a client and they went out of town and someone from 72 sold came to their home, knocked on the door and got them to sign a contract. And the contract was that they would get like $2,000 a month, but they would only get it for 1 month, and they were totally ripped off by 72 sold. And now they're claiming that it's elderly abuse, and so it's going to courts right now. So I don't know about 72 sold.
Yeah. Well,
I'm actually working with an expired that had a 72 sold. I think they have the most expireds here in Arizona, at least. They promise that they're going to sell your house in an X amount of time, and then they try to create a bidding war. I'm not exactly sure what they do, but they're definitely scammy.
Yeah,
to say the least.
there's a big lawsuit happening right now, and that just happened a couple months ago. Just FYI.
okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, we want to be careful of that one. I mean, it's just
I didn't
these are
mean to go
ones that,
down a rabbit hole. I just thought maybe I misheard you.
oh no, this is important stuff. So I mean, the reason we're bringing these up is the volume is so low. Um, we're always looking for other channels to bring in referrals and bring in deals. So 72 sold, I would tread lightly on that one. And I hope that that's not, I'm hoping that was an isolated area or, you know, not reflective of the whole company, but you never know. The other one I had is referral network, and I couldn't find that one directly either. I think that might be internal to EXP. I think if you went to the chat group, let me just the workplace, let me go there real quick. Workplace. Let's see.
And I can keep you abreast upon that that situation.
Hey, Gary,
Oh, definitely. Yes.
when I put in 22 sold, it's coming up near Washington, D.C. And it's giving like different companies like Redfin Realtor. It's really strange. Stately, Zillow. When I put that in the search engine up top, 22 sold, I'm getting these different companies. And it says near 22 sold near real estate near Washington DC for sale. Just, that's very interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a couple things, guys. I'm looking here inside our EXT workplace. There are some referral networks. Some are closed and some are open. But I would join those. And then there's one other one looking up here. I just pulled this up because it said reviews of 5 best referral programs for real estate agents with no upfront costs. So it's paid for closing leads, which is really important. And of course, Zillow's there. Clever Referral Exchange that I've heard of before a number of times. Homelight and Sold.com, which you just mentioned a few moments ago. So I don't recommend Zillow because the only way to do Zillow without paying a monthly fee is the Zillow Premier, and you have to qualify for that. And that they take 35%. But if you're regular Zillow, they're going to charge you a monthly fee, and it's not worth it. But these
I think
others,
I read too that sold.com does a 35%.
really,
Yeah, and that there's a lot of bad information about them, that it's kind of a scam and things like that.
yeah,
So
Sold referral. Let's click on Homelight, and we'll do Clever, and then we'll call it a day. Let's see. Here's Homelight. Okay, let's see. Been around since 2012. Ranked among top 7% fastest growing companies in America. 1.2 million clients across the country. Let's click on leads review. Table of contents. What is Homelight leads okay, what is Homelight leads used for? Breakdown specialty, leads legit, leads customer reviews, lead light pricing. Here we are. Click on the pricing. Customer reviews pricing. All right, they take 33%. Okay, that's Homelight. And Clever was the other one. Let's go back to Clever. Whoops. Very good. Clever. Let's check this one out. Clever. Okay. Sellers get to pay just 1.5%. Sellers, agent commissions, and buyers get cash back after closing. All right. How it works. What plans and pricing? Here we go. All right. Clever service fee paid from commission home sellers pay. Okay. So the house is under 125,000, they get 25% of the broker commission. If it's more than under 25,000, they get the greater of 1,000 or 25%. If the broker represents the buying agent, then you get up to 40% of the broker commission. Okay. So if you double lend it, they're going to take 40%. But in most cases, looks like you're going to pay 25%. So of these, I would probably check out Clever, guys, if I was you. Clever Real Estate Bees looks like that's what it is. Let me go back up to the top. So I would check that one out, you know. But the name of the game is something like that is definitely, it's legitimate, worthwhile when the market volume is low. The market will pick up again, most likely by March, if not sooner. And the interest rate environment could affect things too. So, but for right now, I think being part of one or more referral networks. I mean, Anna's on tonight. She can tell you she gets a handful of deals from the referral networks. Hey, Anna, would you mind unmuting yourself again? And overall, is your experience with these referral groups you're in been worthwhile? In other words, what you're getting for it outweighs what you're paying for it.
Honestly, it's not a referral network that I'm part of. Are you referring to the guidance one?
Yeah, there's that one, but I think you mentioned a couple months ago there was something else you were using. I can't remember. And maybe that's the one. I'm just not remembering it, you know?
I'm not there. I'm trying to think of what it could be. I do know that I investigated a lot of them. But I didn't actually, I signed up for Broker Spot. That's one that involves, I think, 288 upfront that you pay, and then it's 15% on closing. I have gotten nothing from them. Other referral network, I haven't done any. I'm trying to think, Gary. I don't think I've done a referral network that I would say was successful, that I have
Okay.
joined a referral network that I would say is successful. The guidance one you're referring to is actually not a referral network. It's a lender that does very unique type of lending solution. So they're a religious-based lender that they loan conventional products, but they guise them as interest-free loan products. So it's a very special type of financing, basically, for groups of people who do not believe in financing and who do not believe in interest. So those
Gotcha.
guys have referred quite a lot of business to me, just based off of me being in the particular location they were needing help with. And theirs was 25%. There was no charge to sign up, but it does require an understanding of how that loan product works. It's kind of interesting, but otherwise, I don't think that I have done a referral network unless, I don't know,
Okay.
I could have mentioned something, but I don't
That's
remember.
okay. Yeah. No, well, I
That's
appreciate
Sharia
you.
loans. What you talking about is Sharia loans for
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Muslim,
those are
yeah.
exactly. It's called Islamic financing. They what I've also discovered is that Amish people also don't believe in interest. So very particular sects of the population who are very against the idea of interest seek these alternative financing options. What they do is they basically take the market rates. They are Fannie and Freddie approved products, so they're QM loans. They take those, and basically for those that don't believe that they should be paying interest, they basically take the market rate, add on a bunch of different fees. They call it partnership fees and all kinds of, in my opinion, it's a scam, total scam. But they tack on additional fees and make that person believe that, hey, you're in the right because we've restructured this loan for you not to pay any interest. You're paying a partnership fee instead. It's a huge scam, in my opinion, but
Well, the fees are about the same as interest, but they don't call them interest. I looked in that because I'm part of the what is it called? Guidance residential here. I have that for my Muslim clients who are interested in that. And guidance
yeah,
residential is across the country. It is nationwide.
they
But the
are nationwide.
fee and the fee that they charge and the interest rate is pretty much the same, but how they do different is that company, as as the person buys more, they continue to pay the mortgage. They're equal partners they're equal partners from the start, and so the person is really buying more of the company out of the deal.
Yes, that's very true. That's the way they restructure them. However, I'm not sure how many of the loans that you've worked on, but in every single one of my cases, the clients that would have been eligible for, say, 6% at the time that interest rates were 6, they got no less than like 6.5, 6.75. So they ended up getting charged their partnership fee, so to speak. They structure it as a partnership fee. Their partnership fee, which gets tacked on to the base market rate, can oftentimes be very significantly higher, much higher, noticeably higher
than what the market rates would be. So that's exactly right. That's basically a fee for the tacked on additional rate is to account for all the work they have to do on the back end to restructure the deal where it comes off as a partnership and kind of like interest where you're slowly paying off the you start paying higher interest and you slowly start increasing your principal contributions as the years go on. In the amortization schedule, it's similar. So you're initially paying off a lower partnership fee, but it basically the partnership fee takes over the interest. But on the front end, it's structured exactly as a conventional product because they do want to sell it on the secondary market.
So if you're interested in another company that doesn't do that, because the company that I'm working with, they don't have the service fee, there's not an additional fee based on what like you said, they're Freddie approved, but if you want to talk about what company, I may be able to recommend a different company for you that doesn't do that for your same
I'd
client.
love to hear what that is. Is it UIF by any chance?
Yeah, it is. No, it's not UIF. They're GHS.
Yeah, that's the same one. Guidance Home Residential. It's the same exact company.
UIF is a different one because I looked at both of them. I looked at UIF and I looked at GHS. And
yes, I've worked with both of them, and Gary was referring to the GHS one, the Guidance Home Residential one, as the most recent closing that I've had.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, love. Maybe your experience has been different, Bonetta. Maybe your experience has been that they are offering comparable market rates. In my opinion, that has not been the case in the last 5 or so closings I've had with them.
What market are you in? I mean, not that has anything to do with it. I'm just curious. What market are you in?
Yeah, no problem. I'm in San Antonio and Austin, so I've worked with them in both markets.
Okay, yeah, I'm in Virginia. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've hosted what do you call it, webinars for my clients, for several clients, and they weren't talking about any additional fees other than which they were, they were kind of pretty much matching. But I'm still waiting to do some deals with them because then the market, the interest rate changed and they're a lot right along with the interest rate. So my clients kind of said, well, let's put it off. But I did several webinars to find out because I wanted to offer my clients, a broker, a regular mortgage lender, and the Sharia loans. So I looked really deeply into that, and I looked at the 2 different companies, UIF and GHH, which sounds like you've done the same. So that's really interesting. I'll just
their webinars
from them. So you had some leads. I haven't had one lead from them yet.
Okay. Yeah, I've closed several with GHS. I've closed a couple with UIF. More so with GHS. UIF, they don't have a similar, something happened with their referral program, but the referral program they have through GHS is a really awesome one. It's a full-on established system where they have they have implemented a really cool system for referrals, and they have a special app for it. They have a separate division.
Right,
UIF does not. Yeah, UIF does not. They sort of do it all within UIF. Mostly you have to refer clients to them. GHS has a really good outgoing referral program. So I've closed several with both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I hope that your experience is different. I hope you have a more experience. For me, honestly, at the end of the day, I've never closed a transaction, and this is my honest response. I've never closed a transaction where the buyers didn't call me and weren't like second guessing their decision. I've not had a single one so far, just because of how frustrating the journey had been for them. The idea sounds wonderful, but the execution falls short quite a lot.
I had a really good relationship with a woman who was there at the GHS, and she left, and before we could close the deals, and like the guys, they aren't calling me. It's like they had signed me to somebody else, but you know, yeah, I have my own people to refer to the classes, but you know, my people kind of, again, put it on hold, but I did definitely look into both of those companies, and I was like, okay, because yeah, I don't want to, I know when you bring your own people, they don't charge you. GHS can't charge you, but if they
exactly.
offer you something, then they can charge you the 25%, but I
Yep.
haven't even got one referral from them. So anyway, I'll keep you posted if something else happens, but I'll be looking out now. Since you had that experience, I'll be looking out.
Yeah, you definitely should. What you might want to do when you do get a referral from them is call your own lender contacts and just don't tell your clients necessarily, because you don't want to put that alarm system in them. They'll get it anyways. So far, if your experience is anywhere near mine, they'll get to that point where they start questioning them, but you might call your lender and be like, hey, this is the credit score my clients have. This is the price point they want to purchase. This is their rough DTI. What could you have gotten them? And you'll see the price they give you or the valuation or the interest they give you is going to be significantly lower than what JHS could offer them, which really sucks. But
that's disappointing.
it is. It really, really is. Because like I said, the idea is wonderful. And the people that decide to go with them are like really amazing, amazing people that think they're doing the right thing. And that really have a very strong conviction for their belief system. And it really sucks that they get dinged at the very end. You know, it really, really pains me. But I don't know. Feel free to reach out at any time, Vanetta.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at it. And thank you for sharing that, because I haven't, when I had the webinar with them, I didn't have that impression. I had the impression that we're going to be doing.
The webinars are all wonderful until you get to the wire of doing the transaction.
I looked at both companies and I didn't hear that extra, but again, it's probably when you do the paperwork. It's not when you do the, like you said, it's not when you do the webinars, when you do the paperwork.
Yep.
Hey, now is this something, can any agent participate in this, or does the agent have to be a Muslim to be able to participate in this network?
No, not at all. You just have to have an understanding of how the Islamic financing works. You don't have to have a specific religious system.
Yeah, any agent can participate, Gary. I just wanted to do it because I was doing the online courses, and with that I have, you know, regular clients, and I had Muslim clients, and all clients from all over, and so they specifically want the, you know, the non-interest, the Sharia loans. They want that specifically, and you can't talk about, it's got to do with their strong faith, and so I'm not trying to. I'm trying to just make sure I provide an additional service to serve those clients when I do my classes and introduce the lenders that I'm working with. So they're like, oh yeah, I can work with her because she knows about the Sharia loans. Yeah. There's another service. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a good way to distinguish yourself too. Just
absolutely. Set your part. You set your part.
Absolutely.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks you guys for sharing.
Yeah.
So, and guys, I'm going to go ahead and take off here. It's 8:45. But great session. I appreciate everybody participating, especially the guests, Patricia and Alan, and new agents, Jeanette, and I don't know if Susan Perry, she just logged off, she's joining, but and all the veterans too. And I hope you guys have an awesome next 2 weeks over the season, whatever it is you celebrate. Again, I always maintain whatever you celebrate it, and be proud and be bold, and let people express yourself. Let people see it. Get to learn about it. You know. So enjoy the season. If you celebrate Hanukkah, if you celebrate Kwanzaa, if you celebrate Christmas, enjoy it with everything you've got. And I hope that you and your families will be blessed with peace and prosperity now and in 2024 too. And I'm grateful for you guys being on the team. And I look forward to picking up again on January, the first week of January.
Thanks,
you.
Gary.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays. Happy
welcome.
holidays.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Gary.
If you
Gary.
need- if you need anything, just let me know, okay?
Bless you too.
Happy holidays, everyone.
All right.
Bless everybody.
God bless you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.